Hey everyone. It feels like we're all drowning in this sea of AI news lately.
Right?
It's like drinking from a fire hose. And remember last December when ChatGPT went offline for like a whole day? Talk about a wake-up call. It really hit home how much we depend on these LLMs or large language models, as I'm sure you all know. But imagine if we could actually wrangle these LLM, not just use them, but like really manage
Well,
them.
that's where Backplain comes in. It's not another LLM, it's more like a how-to guide for navigating this crazy AI world, and it helps you get stuff done.
Okay, now I'm really intrigued. And wouldn't you know it, we found this article. It's called Why Backplane. And it's from December 19th, 2024. And it's not just another tech article, all jargon. This one lays out all these real-world LLM challenges we're all facing. And then it kind of blows your mind with how Backplane solves them.
I know, right? It really gets it. There's so much AI hype, but we need solutions, not just more buzzwords.
You're preaching to the choir. So let's get into it. What are some of these problems, and how does Backplane step up? The first one that jumps out is vendor lock-in. That's a classic tech trap, right? You get hooked on one company's LLM and bam, you're stuck. So how does Backplane handle that?
Well, think of Backplain as Switzerland. Totally neutral. Works with all of them. Google, Microsoft, even some random open source project you found on GitHub. Doesn't matter. Backplain lets you use them all.
So you can pick the best tool for the job without getting tied down.
Exactly.
Hmm.
And that kind of flexibility is like gold, especially in a field like AI that's changing so fast.
That makes a ton of sense. But hold on, how do you even know which LLM is the best in the first place? It's not like there's a Consumer Reports for AI.
Right. Like, how do you choose? Well, there are tons of LLMs out there, each one with its own pluses and minuses. And Backplane helps you make smart decisions by letting you compare different models side by side.
Oh, interesting.
Imagine running the same query through, let's say, ChatGPT and Bard, and even some specialized LLM just for, financial analysis.
Oh, I see where you're going with this.
You get to see how each one interprets the data, and then you can decide which output fits your needs best.
That's pretty awesome. It's like having a whole team of AI experts working for you.
Exactly. But then there's another challenge. The LLM landscape is evolving so quickly. How can anyone keep up?
Yeah, it's mind-boggling. New models are popping up left and right.
Remember that LLM Wars blog post from last December?
Oh yeah, that was a good one.
The competition is fierce, and it's only getting more intense.
So how do you stay ahead of the curve?
Well, Backplane is built for agility.
Agility. Okay.
It's designed to orchestrate different LLMs seamlessly
Working.
as new models emerge. You can easily swap them in and out of your workflow
Oh, that's smart.
without disrupting your whole system.
Okay, that definitely calms my anxiety a bit. But I can already hear the IT folks freaking out. All these employees running around with different AI tools sounds like a recipe for disaster. And actually, that's the next problem, the why Backplane article tackles. Shadow AI.
Yeah, shadow AI is a big one. It's a real security risk.
Hmm.
Think about employees bypassing security protocols just to use some unsanctioned AI tool. Data breach waiting to happen.
Yeah, not good.
But Backplane gives IT the controls they need
Mm-hmm.
to manage AI responsibly.
Like guardrails for AI.
Exactly. They can set policies to make sure data stays secure, control access to sensitive information, even monitor how LLMs are being used across the whole organization.
So instead of IT being the Department of No, Backplane helps them be the Department of Yes, BUT, safely.
Right. It's like a peace treaty between innovation and security.
I like that. But speaking of security, let's talk about the big one, data breaches. Sensitive information, API keys, all that scary stuff. That's problem number 5 on our list, right?
Definitely a valid concern. You don't want your confidential data ending up in the wrong hands.
Nobody does.
But Backplane has you covered. It has several layers of protection built in.
Like what?
It can automatically filter and mask sensitive data, so it's never exposed in the first place.
Okay, that's reassuring.
And it keeps these detailed audit logs of all AI activity.
So you can track everything.
Exactly. You have a clear record of what happened and when,
Yeah.
which is super important for compliance.
It's like having a super smart security guard for your data.
I like that analogy.
But what about when the AI itself gets things wrong? We've all seen those hilarious examples of AI hallucinations.
Oh, yeah, where they just make stuff up.
Exactly. And that brings us to problem number 6, accuracy. There's this quote that really stuck with me. It says, Gen AI is not interested in the truth. It is only interested in the probability of which word should come next.
That's spot on. LLMs are amazing at generating human-like text, but they don't always get the meaning.
The underlying context.
Right, they can be fooled or misled easily.
Just how do you fix that?
Well, Backplain tackles this by running your query through multiple LLMs and then comparing the results.
Oh, clever.
It helps you spot inconsistencies and potential fabrications.
So it's like a second opinion or even a third opinion from different AI experts?
Exactly. And it also uses user feedback to learn and improve.
How does that work?
Users can flag anything that looks off or inaccurate. It's like training a puppy, but with AI.
So Backplain learns what a good answer looks like.
Right. But even with all this feedback and fine-tuning, there's still the issue of context.
Me.
These generic LLMs are like walking encyclopedias,
Here.
but they don't know anything about your specific world. That's problem number 7.
Okay, yeah, I see what you mean.
Generic LLMs are trained on vast amounts of general knowledge,
Right.
but they don't know your company's internal processes or your specific customer base or the nuances of your industry.
And that's where IGO comes in.
You got it. RG stands for Retrieval Augmented Generation.
Okay, so what is R?
Basically, it means Backplain can connect to your own data sources. Think internal documents, customer databases, industry reports, anything relevant to your work.
So it gives the LLM context.
Exactly. It grounds the responses in your reality.
So instead of getting generic answers, you get insights tailored to your needs.
Exactly. And if you really want to take it to the next level, you can even create your own fine-tuned private LLMs.
Ooh, hold on, back up.
Private LLMs that are specifically trained on your data.
That's getting pretty advanced.
And if you need help with that, Backplane's sister company, Epic Systems Data and AI Practice, can help.
Oh, that's cool. I mean, we've covered a lot of ground here, and it sounds like Backplain is more than just another AI tool.
It is?
It's like the bridge between LLMs and actually using them effectively in the real world.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
But I think we need to take a break and let all this sink in. When we come back, we'll explore even more about Backplain and what it all means for the future of LLMs. Don't go anywhere.
All right, we're back. And we've talked about a lot with Backplain so far. Vendor lock-in, data security. But there's this one thing that keeps popping up in my mind.
Oh.
What's that? Control.
Yeah.
It feels like Backplain is giving us, the users, more control. In this world where AI can feel so, I don't know, overwhelming.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Like you're not just along for the ride. Exactly. You're not at the mercy of these big tech companies or constantly chasing the latest AI trends.
Right, you're in the driver's seat.
And that brings up another important point from the Why Backplain article. Transparency. We've all heard those stories about AI bias.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
How do we know these LLMs aren't just, perpetuating harmful stereotypes
Huh.
or making decisions based on bad data?
That's a huge concern.
It is.
And it's why transparency is so important in AI.
Absolutely.
And what's really interesting about Backplain is that it doesn't just give you the output.
It just shows you how it got there.
Exactly. You can see which LLMs were used,
Yeah.
what data they used, even how the results were ranked.
So it's like peeking under the hood and seeing how the AI engine actually works.
Precisely.
You're not just blindly trusting the output, you're understanding the process.
And that ties into this bigger trend we're seeing, explainable AI, or XAI.
XAI.
People want to know how AI systems work.
They want to understand the why behind the what.
Exactly. They want to know the logic, the data sources, the potential biases.
So Backplain isn't just a tool, it's almost like a philosophy for how we should be approaching AI.
I like that.
We're not just mindlessly taking in AI's output, we're engaging with it critically.
And that's important for everyone.
Not just the techies.
Right, everyone. From data scientists to marketing managers, anyone using AI in their work.
I'll admit, when I first heard about Backplain, I thought it was just for, the hardcore tech folks.
Oh, yeah, I get that.
But you're saying that's not the case.
Not at all. It's designed to be user-friendly.
Even for people who don't code or anything.
Exactly. It's about empowering anyone to use LLMs.
In a responsible and effective way.
Exactly.
So it's like democratizing AI.
Taking it out of the hands of the elite few and making it accessible to everyone.
I love that. And when you think about it, the potential impact is huge.
It is. More people using AI thoughtfully means more innovation, more creative problem solving, more progress in all sorts of fields.
Okay, but let's be real. Not everyone is going to be on board with AI.
Oh, for sure.
Some people are skeptical, even scared. What do you say to them?
I understand the hesitation. AI is powerful.
It is.
And with great power comes great responsibility, right?
That's the saying.
But I would encourage people to see Backplain, not as a replacement for human intelligence.
But as a way to enhance it.
Exactly. It's about collaboration, not competition.
So not humans versus machines, but humans with machines.
Precisely.
Like having a super smart research assistant.
Right. Helping you gather information, analyze data.
Even generate content.
And that frees you up to focus on the bigger picture.
The things that require human ingenuity.
Exactly.
So AI isn't taking our jobs, it's helping us do them better.
Smarter, more efficiently.
I love that. And as AI continues to evolve, having platforms like Backplain will be even more important.
Absolutely.
To help us manage the complexity.
And use it ethically and responsibly.
So if we had to sum up Backplain in a few words,
What would it be?
what would it be?
I think Backplain is the bridge between the potential of LLMs and the reality of using them in the real world.
Control, transparency, empowerment.
Exactly.
I like that. It's like Backplain is saying, hey, AI is amazing, but let's not forget about the humans.
Yeah.
Because in the end, it's the human element that will shape the future of AI.
Couldn't agree more.
We need to be having these conversations.
Asking the tough questions.
Setting them guidelines.
For how we want to interact with this technology.
Well, you've definitely given us a lot to think about, but before we wrap up, I have one more question. You mentioned earlier that Backplain is constantly evolving. So what's next? What can we expect to see in the future?
That's a great question. One area that's really exciting is personalized AI.
Personalized AI, okay.
Imagine your Backplain dashboard.
Tailored to me?
Exactly. It knows your preferences.
Which LLMs I like, the data I work with.
Even your goals.
And then what?
It recommends the best tools and workflows for you.
Whoa, that's like having a personal AI assistant.
And as AI gets smarter,
The possibilities are endless.
we're just getting started.
You know, after this deep dive, I'm feeling a lot more optimistic about AI.
I am too.
But I'm curious, what's the one thing you hope our listeners take away from this?
I hope they feel a sense of agency.
Agency.
Yeah, AI can feel like this massive, unstoppable force.
It can.
But Backplain shows us that we're not just passive consumers.
We have choices.
We have questions
And we have a role to play.
in shaping how this technology is used.
I love that. So folks, as we wrap up, we want to leave you with a final thought. If Backplain represents the future of LLMs,
What does that mean for you?
how will you use these tools?
To learn, to create, to make a difference.
Backplain shows us we have the power.
To shape our relationship with AI.
We don't have to be passive.
We can be active participants.
And the future of AI is not set in stone.
It's something we're all creating together.
One choice, one question.
One line of code at a time.
And we're back for our final Backplain deep dive.
It really has been a fascinating journey, exploring all the ways Backplain is shaking things up in the LLM world.
You know, we've spent a lot of time talking about the practicalities of Backplain, you know, the nuts and bolts of how it works and the problems it solves and all that. But I'm also interested in the bigger picture, you know?
Yeah, I agree. It's important to zoom out a bit.
If Backplain is really a sneak peek into the future of LLMs, what does that mean for us? You know, for us humans, are we becoming too reliant on AI? Are we, like, losing something essential about ourselves in the process?
Those are questions a lot of people are wrestling with.
They are big questions.
It reminds me of when calculators first came out, you know?
Yeah.
Some people thought kids would forget how to do basic math.
Right, become totally dependent on the machines. But that didn't happen, did it?
Not at all. Calculators became a tool.
Just like a hammer doesn't replace a carpenter's skill.
Exactly. LLMs can enhance what we're capable of, not replace us.
But we do need to use them thoughtfully.
Absolutely.
So how do we find that balance then? How do we benefit from AI without losing our own critical thinking skills?
Well, I think a big part of it is recognizing that LLMs are tools, not oracles.
They don't have all the answers.
Right. And they can even be wrong sometimes.
Yeah, we've seen that.
And that's where Backplain can really help. By letting you compare different models, you can see where they agree and where they might diverge.
So you can see the whole picture, get multiple perspectives.
Exactly. It's like getting a second opinion or even a third opinion before making a decision.
I like that. So what else can we do? I mean, how else can we make sure we're not becoming too reliant on AI?
Well, another key is to focus on the things AI isn't good at yet.
Okay, like what?
LLMs are great at processing information, but they still struggle with things like empathy and ethical judgment.
Right, those more human qualities.
Exactly. And understanding complex social situations, that's another area where AI falls short.
So those are the areas where human intelligence is still really important.
Absolutely. And those are the areas we should be focusing on developing.
It's almost like as AI gets better at the routine tasks, it frees us up to focus on the things that make us uniquely human.
I like that way of looking at it.
I do too. It's a much more positive outlook. AI is a partner, not a replacement. So, as we wrap up our Backplane deep dive, I want to leave our listeners with something to really think about. If Backplane is this glimpse into the future of LLMs, what does it mean for you, for your own journey?
What a great question.
How will you use these tools to learn and create and make a difference?
Backplane shows us that we have the power to choose how we interact with AI.
You don't have to be passive.
We can be active participants.
The future isn't set in stone.
It's something we're all building together,
Yeah.
one choice at a time,
One question at a time.
one line of code at a time.
And maybe, just maybe, Backplane can be our compass, helping us navigate this new and uncharted territory.
Well said. It's been fantastic discussing Backplane with you.
It's been my pleasure, really. And to our listeners out there, keep diving deep, keep asking questions. The future of AI is waiting to be discovered.